Just talking about baseball, it is.
Wait. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Hardest thing to do in sports is what? All of sports. Take every sport, and what would you say is the hardest thing to do? And I love this because you played football.
Man, it play catcher.
So you would say playing catcher would be the hardest?
Either playing catcher or hitting a baseball.
100% hitting a baseball.
Yeah. No, I'll give you just a quick baseball background story for Jesse Holley. Okay? Because people always say, well, you're athletic and you do this and I'm an advocate for multiple sports. Like, let your kids play multiple sports, push for multiple sports. I think the better athletes play multiple sports, at least till you get to a point where you have to make a decision college-wise.
I want to dive into that in a minute, though.
Sure, we can dive into that. So in high school, playing football, right, that happens in kind of the late summer, fall. Then basketball happens, and then in the spring, baseball. I'm dominant in football. I'm dominant in basketball. So I go, let's do this baseball thing, right? Like, it can't be that hard. Cannot be that hard. So the quarterback to one of the schools that we played, we whooped up on him. He also played point guard. Whooped up on him. He's the pitcher for the baseball team. And I'm out there, I'm looking good. Swag is on a million. And I get in the batter's box, and I'm like, I'm like kind of, when you're young, it's like you either do the Ken Griffey swing, or you're trying to do the Gary Sheffield kind of bat jerking gyration, you know what I mean? And he throws the ball so hard and so fast. I don't know, it felt like he was trying to take my head off, and I ducked out of the way. And he looked at me from the mound and said, yeah, Holley, this is my sport. And I looked at him, and I said, you're absolutely right. And I walked off the baseball diamond. And my coach was like, what are you doing? Where are you going? I said, you heard what he said? This is his sport. He is right. And they're like, oh, but you play football. I said, I am not getting hit with whatever he was just about to throw at me. I never played baseball again.
So he scared you?
Scared the living crap out of me. Bro, I don't know what it is. I am so afraid to bat. I just don't know what it is. And I am deathly terrified. Like a curveball, it looks like it's going to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
In high school, it's probably 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, whatever it was at that time. I want no parts of it. I want no parts of that.
So my dad taught me when I was young to be a switch hitter. So when I first started going up, I was swinging right-handed, and then, but I threw left-handed. Never could do anything right-handed. And then my dad was like, hey, if you want to go somewhere in baseball, we need you to be a switch hitter. Because I was an outfielder. I wasn't a full-time pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, let's try it. And I started switching, and then I realized, man, I can see the ball so much better. So you being right-handed, I'm in the left-handed batter's box. It's coming this way. So I can now see it. And then if I'm the other way around, right-handed and you're left-handed, it's coming to me. So I'm always going to be able to see it. Right. So in that situation where you were up at the plate, I'm assuming you're right-handed, he was right-handed, he threw at you, that thing, no matter what, it looks like it's coming right at you.
Yes.
And there's pitchers in the league. Jared Weaver was by far the best at this. Dude threw so far across his body. Sorry, man.
No, you're good, brother.
Threw so far across his body that when he would step at you, and then it would come around. So it's coming from behind you then throwing into the plate.
I'm out. I'm out on that, man.
But with that being said, though, when I get done rehabbing, I want you to stand in. I won't hit you. You can look at my stats, everything. I've thrown 42,500 pitches. I've looked this up. This is the only reason I know. 42,500 pitches.
Sidebar. If there's any athlete that ever says they don't know what their stats are,
that's false.
You're a liar.
Yeah,
Everybody knows what their stats are. Everybody looks. They're noted, especially in the social media world where you always have to come back at somebody about something.
I just did that yesterday. Somebody was like, you choked in the playoffs. I was like, actually, I made 5 starts. I got 3 wins. I didn't choke.
Right.
So let's change that. But for me, 42,000 at least. We're going to say 43,000 pitches I've thrown. I've hit 22 people. Actually, it was 25. I'm not going to hit you. I've had other people stand in there. I get all my friends to stand in just so I want you to experience what it's like from the major league standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring the heat. Like, I get the combine guys when I go train. They would always come and stand in. I've got videos on Instagram. One dude looks like he's swinging a sword. Like, he just stood there. I did 2 different pitches. First one, I said, you're not allowed to swing. Because, one, this is going to look like it's going to hit you, but it's not. So I don't want you to try to react, and one, you could hit my catcher or whatever.
Right.
So I threw it, and basically what it is, it's a ride back. And for me, left-handed, throwing to a righty, it's going to start at your right hip, but it's going to come right back across the plate. So I did that to him, and his reaction was priceless. Like, it was unbelievable.
Like, my heart's beating fast now thinking about this.
Now, what I could do if I was going to be a real dickhead, I would throw it at you. Like, throw way behind you and way up in the air so you freak out, and then go ahead and throw one, just dot it right beside you.
That's my biggest fear.
But I would never do that.
And people would be like, oh, well, you crossed the middle with linebackers and safety. And I'm like, yeah, it's something
it's
about
just different.
It's something about that ball coming at you like at ungodly amounts of speed that I've always just feared.
It happens quick. You got like 500ths of a second to react to a pitch, is what they say.
And that's the interesting thing about baseball players, because you're talking about the game happening so fast, right? I mean,
Especially now.
Like, I've played in like charity softball games and stuff like that. I think about, like, one of the reason why I said catcher, I don't think people realize how far second base is from a squatting position. And for some of these dudes to catch a 90-mile-an-hour ball and then be able to transfer strength speed from a knee and throw a dot
In less than 2 seconds.
that's insane. Like, I struggle throwing a softball back there accurately. And you have cats that are doing that, catching it and then firing it. That's why I say, like, hitting and being a catcher is probably 2 of the hardest things to do in all of sports.
100%. I mean, penalty kicks and all that stuff, that's pretty tough too. But I just don't think hitting a baseball is really hard.
Yeah.
But I do want to add, because you made me think of this too. I played in softball, having fun with my friends, and we had this dude that he thought he was something else. He was playing first base. And I said, well, I want to play short. I never get to do that, so let me play shortstop. So I get out there, I get a ground ball hit to me. As an athlete, as a pitcher, a baseball guy, I pay attention to who is running. Right. You hit the ball, I know by looking at you, you ain't running. Right. You ain't going to be something fast. So I got the ball, I shuffle, I'm patting, and the dude, being how he is, yells at me, throw the ball. I was like, okay, you shouldn't have said that. And he put his glove up. His glove was up. I threw that thing. I bet you I threw it 100 is what it felt like. He had his hand right here. It went straight and hit him right in the palm, everything. Catches it, slams it down. He's like, why'd you do that? And I was like, you told me to throw the ball. Don't complain. If you want this, like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And he didn't realize that until after. And then I had to explain, like, hey, man, I play professional baseball. You don't need to tell me
throw the ball.
When to throw it.
Right.
I've got an idea. But
Yes.
that's I love that.